Today we're going to talk about the channel strip, and pictured here is a 32 channel inline console made by Toft. And whether you're working on a virtual console or a physical console like this, much of the controls are the same. Here's a diagram of a typical channel strip, and at the top of the channel you'll notice the preamp, followed by the EQ section. Next you have the auxiliary section and the monitor section. And because this channel goes along with an inline console, you can actually monitor a signal in two areas, including below the monitor section, the fader. And next to the fader, you have the buses. So let's look at the preamp section now a little closer. As you notice, it has an input gain knob. This is used to adjust the gain of the mic. Plus 48 volts, which refers to phantom power, which is what helps to power a condenser microphone. The reverse switch, because this is an inline console, allows you to switch between the monitor and the fader for where you're going to listen and monitor the sound. You have the line button, and when you press this down, it's line, but when it's up, it's mic. And then you have the polarity, which flips the polarity on that channel 180 degrees. Up next is the EQ section, and this particular EQ section is a 4-band equalizer. The top band, the high frequency, is a fixed frequency that I can choose between 8 or 12 kilohertz, and I can boost or cut that. Below that I have the high mid and the low mid frequencies, and these are sweepable semi-parametric equalizers where I can choose a particular frequency and I can boost or cut that frequency up to 15 decibels. And then the low frequency knob is also a fixed frequency where I can boost or cut a predetermined frequency. Don't forget there's a in EQ button, and this allows me to compare with and without EQ on that channel. Following the EQ section is the auxiliary section, usually just referred to as the aux section. This console has 6 auxes. Auxes are used for monitoring and headphones in the studio, and also used for effects. If you notice, there's a pre button, and that stands for pre-fader. Headphone mixes and monitor mixes would be pre-fader. When you use an aux for an effect, that would be post-fader. Because this is an inline console, each channel has 2 areas where I can actually monitor the signal. And when I'm recording, I typically would monitor the signal in this part of the recording console. And you'll see I have a monitor level, I have a pan knob, and then I have 3 buttons I can press in. One for aux 5 and 6 to send it to the monitor, one to apply the EQ to the monitor, and one to just mute the particular channel. Finally, you'll see the pan knob below the monitor section, and this pan knob is associated with the fader below it, and the fader controls the volume for that particular channel. Next to the pan knob, you'll see that there's a button we can press in to solo anything on that channel, and we could also press the button below that to mute that particular channel. Next to the fader, you'll see the left-right, and the left-right allows us to send whatever's coming in on that channel to the left-right stereo mix. And this is something that we often do also in the virtual world. And then you'll see that there are 8 bus selections, and buses are also often used as groups, and allows us to group particular instruments together. Keep in mind that all channel strips aren't exactly laid out the same, but the functions of what each section do are consistent. So once you learn one channel, you'll know quite a bit about the console or virtual mixer that you're working on.